When you visit the Hector Peterson Memorial in Soweto, you are drawn in by this iconic image. For local and international tourists, it's a work of art that explains parts of South Africa's history. But for one man in Botswana, there's a lot more to this photo than a history lesson.
One day I just come across this picture and I'm like, wow, this guy kind of looks like me. Get home, ask my mom, who's this guy? No, this isn't Mbuyisa, this is your dad. Because I used to, from a very young age, I used to visit my dad's family in Soweto over school holidays, or just before school, it was just for Christmas holidays and stuff. But then it never registered in my mind that I had a popular father.
Mbuyisa Makhubu had a child named Thato Mokhele in Botswana. Now, to understand how this June 16 hero ended up in a foreign country, we first need to look at events leading up to the moment this photo was taken. Let's go back to the winter of 1976. Student activists gathered at this community hall in Orlando East, Soweto. They discussed a controversial announcement that had been made by the Department of Bantu Education. Subjects like mathematics, geography and history would be taught in Afrikaans. But township learners were not happy because this language was associated with racial oppression.
It was an education system that was meant to make black people to see the greener pastures but not reach them. So in another way of making them not to reach them, let them study in our language so that they can become good gardeners, good housemates, and that can speak with the boss being the white boss.
When the National Party government rejected the pleas of black learners, mass demonstrations were organized. Thousands of students marched through Soweto on the 16th of June 1976. Dozens of police officers were sent in to disperse the crowds.
They then released dogs. The only defense against those police dogs was stones. So students used stones to kill the dogs. And a dog that died and made the police to start even wanting to use live bullets on us.
In that chaos, Orlando resident Mbuyisa Makhubu tried to help a 12-year-old boy who'd been shot. A photographer spotted him and captured the moment the 18-year-old man tried to save the life of Hector Peterson. The image was iconic and made headlines across the world. The apartheid government faced international condemnation. Mbuyisa's name was on the police's wanted list. This is the reason he secretly crossed the border into Botswana.
Arriving in Botswana, he stayed with the Mabandlas. I think, one of the Mabandlas was a minister, the lady.
Bridget
Mabandla. They were both teachers at Molifi Secondary School in Mochudi, which is my hometown. And that's how they met with my mom.
But even in that country, 18-year-old Mbuyisa felt unsafe.
There are a lot of spies in Botswana at that time. Either guys also who were allegedly ANC would write on other people for their families to be fed in exchange for money or something. So they felt Mbuyisa and a lot of other students were not safe. So some were taken to Tanzania, the others Nigeria. My father was in the crew that left for Nigeria.
While in Nigeria, Mbuyisa wrote to his family. But in 1978, the letters stopped. Nobody heard from him again. In the decades that followed, Mbuyisa's relatives, including his son, traveled to Nigeria hoping to get answers. But they came back empty-handed.
Actually, I came back very depressed. Because the same stories you would hear that, he walked into the ocean saying he's walking to Jamaica, or someone saying they used to smoke, marijuana together, and all those stories, except once I can't remember when it was. Someone was telling me, he was mad at like people used to disappear those days. There used to be those sulfuric acid killings, where they just put you in a bathtub, put sulfuric acid, you disappear, At least if that's what happened, someone should say.
Victor Vinatu, he calls himself, now proven to be a...
In 2014, nearly 40 years after the Soweto Uprising, a photo was circulated of a man in a Canadian prison believed to be Mbuyisa. But DNA test results came back inconclusive. It meant Thato Mokhele would continue to live without answers. Are you hopeful, Thato, that your father is still alive?
To be honest, as much as I wish he was alive, from what I've gathered, either media or just people who knew him, like from high school, old friends, and the society, I'd really like to believe he has passed on.
For Newzroom Afrika, Channel 405, this is Mpho Lakaje in Gaborone, Botswana.